Welcome to the Build Your Own Business podcast. My name is Lauren Lomsdale, and I am a serial entrepreneur who has started, scaled, and grown several businesses over the past 12 years. And together with my husband, we have helped hundreds of clients do the same. This podcast is for those small business dreamers who are wanting to take the leap into starting their very own business, as well as those business owners who have big dreams of scaling their business. We provide step-by-step how-to guidance, discuss growing pains in your business, and give real-life business lessons and advice that you can apply to your own business. So BYOB and pull up a seat because we are going to build your business. Hello and welcome to the very first episode of the Build Your Own podcast, sponsored by the Startup Collective, hosted by myself, Lauren Lomsdale, and my husband, James Lomsdale, who you can see is not, if you're watching this on YouTube or Spotify, you can see that he is not here today. My husband is an active duty Marine. He is obviously very busy. It's what we like to say at home, saving the world. But he will be coming into this podcast occasionally as much as he possibly can, especially when we talk about things like budgeting, taxes, and business formations, and using the data of your business to help grow and scale to the next level. But for the most part, it's going to be me and our podcast guest talking about how to build your business from the ground up. So this episode is just kind of an introduction to who we are, what our businesses are, and what this podcast is going to be all about. So let's dive in. Like I said, my name is Lauren Lomsdale. My husband is James Lomsdale. He is an active duty Marine. Our family is currently stationed at the recording of this podcast in Okinawa, Japan. We have 3 daughters. Yes, 3 daughters, no boys. We do have a boy dog, though, and a girl dog. And we are loving our military life. My husband has been in for about 16 years. We will be going through to the full 20, maybe even beyond. If you are a military family or a veteran, you know how intense this lifestyle is. I started off building businesses and kind of the entrepreneurial journey. I don't know why that word is always so hard for me to say. That journey about 7 years ago. But before that, I was doing some freelance work as a freelance writer and a virtual assistant. And I really kind of got started. I actually have my master's in education. Once I met my husband, I quickly realized that being a teacher was not going to be feasible with the military lifestyle for how often we move, as well as growing a family. It's really difficult to have a career, a full-time career, while growing a family. Obviously, if you're a mom or a parent, you know how that kind of works. And then moving constantly, I realized teaching probably wasn't in the cards for me. So I started to look into what I could be doing outside of a traditional career that was flexible with the military lifestyle. So I started doing some freelance writing and some virtual assistant work. And then I started my very first business, which was an in-home daycare, or not in-home daycare, in-home preschool that I ran 3 days a week while my oldest daughter, she had just turned 2. I ran it until she was 5 years old, where we lived at the time in Virginia. We had a beautiful big house. We finished our basement to make the classroom, and we had a playground and 4.5 acres, and it was wonderful. And I felt like I was really utilizing my master's in education in order to kind of not only be with my daughter and be able to build that business, but also just be present in the military lifestyle. Once we left Virginia, it's called PCSing. Once we moved and PCSed to the next location, which was Kansas, I had to close my preschool, and then again started looking into what can I be doing now. I started again freelance writing. I started to do a little bit of brand photography, and really kind of got into the back end of how businesses run on the online side. So not so much the brick and mortar side, but really how websites are built, email marketing, social media, doing the brand photography on the back end for websites, doing professional editing and things like that. In 2020, COVID hit, and then I took a step back from the publication side. I was a managing editor of a publication called Daily Mom Military. Took a step back as my kids were no longer in school, and then we PCSed and moved again to Key West, Florida. And so that at that point, I got a position as digital editor of Military Families magazine. Did that for about a year. That's a whole nother podcast story that we're going to tell at some point in the future. But I did that for about a year and then became a virtual assistant for a up and coming virtual assistant agency called BizAssist. This is where I really honed in my marketing skills. And I only did that for about 8 months before I said, you know what? I'm going to do this on my own and build my very own business. I started Aura Digital Consulting, which is my creative marketing firm and my full scope marketing firm, back in 2022. Since then, we have doubled our revenue every single year to the point where we are now at multi six figures. Really proud of that, really proud of the work we have done with Aura Digital Consulting. And we have since grown our business into multiple arms and multiple streams of income, which again will be a podcast episode eventually, how we can grow our businesses into one stream of income, into multiple streams of income, because most business owners and most millionaires have multiple streams of income. But that's another episode. So, and so now we have Aura Palms, which is our corporation. I am the CEO. My husband is the CFO, the Chief Financial Officer. He does all of our budgeting, our taxes, our data, our payments to VAs, all of the things. And I kind of spearhead the oversight of it. So we have Aura Digital Consulting, which is my marketing firm. I act as a chief, a chief marketing officer, but a fractional CMO for several different clients of mine. Those are my executive clients. And then we have an agency arm to that where we take smaller projects, smaller clients, and that's where my military spouse virtual assistants come in. I have a team of military spouses who are marketing VAs who help assist not only with my executive clients, but also with my our agency clients. So these are smaller, one-off web design, smaller social media contracts, things like that. I also have courses called the Work From Home Millspo. These are courses to teach military spouses how to become marketing virtual assistants. I started the Work From Home Millspo shortly after I started Aura Digital Consulting. And I did this because as military spouses, it's really difficult to find these flexible careers that are able to move with us. And so I created these courses, which are over 100 hours of training, so that military spouses can learn the same skills that I have now and be able to start either start their own businesses or join a virtual assistant agency. So we have the Work From Home Millspo, which are one set of our courses. And then we have the Startup Collective, which you may have found my podcast through the Startup Collective, or maybe you're coming to the podcast first and now you're like, what the heck is the Startup Collective? Don't worry, I'm going to tell you. Just like that girl says, Elise, I forget what her last name is, but she's on Instagram and she's like, great question. I'd love to tell you. That's what I'm going to do. Great question. I'd love to tell you. The Startup Collective are our business building courses for small business dreamers and or solo entrepreneurs who are just getting their business started. What I have found over the course of helping hundreds of clients start their own businesses or grow them or build them or scale them is that what really stops them is the overwhelm of starting. Just taking that first step from idea to the first level of execution. How do we go from, I have this great idea, okay, what do I do now with it? Do I get an LLC? What the heck is an LLC? Am I a self-proprietor? What does that mean? Do I need to get an EIN? How do I even get that? How do I make my logo? How do I get my website done? How do I build a website? What the heck is WordPress or Squarespace or Wix? How do I do email marketing? These are all things that people, when they sit down, they're like, I have this great business idea. This is going to take off. They sit down and they go, but now what? And so that's what the Startup Collective helps with. We say, okay, you've got this great idea. We're going to tell you how to make your website, and we're going to walk you through step by step exactly how to do it. We're going to help you get your domain. We're going to help you get your hosting. We're going to help you make your logo. We're going to help you build your website, and we're going to tell you how to do email marketing and what to click and what buttons to push and all of the things, so that it is so much easier for a small business dreamer to take that step into idea to execution. So that's what the Startup Collective is doing. We have these courses that are for product-based businesses, because that is a whole different beast compared to a service-based business. And that's different compared to a creative based business, which is someone like a photographer or a painter or a nail tech or a hairstylist, because we need certain things for those people for their marketing or their websites and things like that. So we take all of these small businesses and these solo entrepreneurs and we say, okay, you have this idea. We're going to help you get to the next level. We're going to help you secure all of these things and know how to make your website and know how to do your email marketing and even take good brand photos. We're going to tell you all the things so that your brand can be as successful as possible. And then beyond that, we have our group coaching and we also have one-on-one consulting. And so we have different options for those who have already established their businesses. Maybe they're just kind of getting their first clients, or maybe they're pretty successful and they're ready to scale to the next level. We have both our group coaching and the one-on-one consulting with myself or my husband if you are more looking for a financial coach or a financial consultant. But difference between coaching and consulting is always a discussion. Coaching, and just to give you guys kind of an overview of what that looks like for us in particular, coaching is really somebody who helps you change your mindset, who helps you say, okay, these are the blocks you have. These are the things that you need to work on as a person to get to that next level. Super beneficial. And I have a great coach that I could point you to if that's what you're looking for. But on the other side of that is consulting. And that says, okay, here's your business. These are the steps you need to take to get to that next level. You need to do XYZ. You need to do this email and write, make this landing page and do this lead magnet that connects to this and da 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 da. So consulting and coaching are two very different things, even though people use the terms kind of interchangeably. They're not the same thing. So, like I said, we have multiple things going on here. In addition to having kids, in sports, in extracurricular activities, 2 dogs, being in the military lifestyle where my husband is a commanding officer, we have obligations to his Marines and to the families that he is serving. And so it is a busy lifestyle over here. But the Startup Collective is here not only to kind of help you talk through some of these business blocks that we have, whether it is starting a business, those technical questions of what website platform should I be on, or what are the different email marketing platforms I should be thinking about, or what types of photos should I be taking for my brand photos, all those types of technical business questions, as well as the mindset stuff. So how do we remove those money blocks or those visual blocks, or visibility blocks, meaning how you're being perceived or seen on social media or on any platform that you might be on, speaking engagements, podcasts, things like that. What types of streams of income you should be adding to your business. And we'll be talking to guests on our podcast on different areas, their own businesses. We'll be talking to business coaches and consultants and PR consultants and all of these people who can really help take your business not only from the starting point, but to the growth point. So we have lots of things in store here. So we're going to be talking, like I said, not only about the technical business stuff, the how do I do XYZ? In fact, in some podcast episodes, I might say to you, if you are listening to this on Spotify or Apple Music, Apple iTunes, or Music, or whatever, Apple Podcasts, whatever it's called, pause it. Please go watch this on YouTube or watch it on Spotify, because you're going to want to see the screen recording. I'll be doing stuff on my screen to show you, hey, when you get to this point, you're going to click here and do this and do that, and this is what this looks like. Because that's a really important part of learning how to build your business. It's not just people blabbering to you about be positive and, shift your mindset and say these mantras and blah, blah, blah. Like, all that stuff is great. And we're all going to talk about all that stuff too. But some of the stuff you really do need to actually watch. So we'll be doing some actual, hey, come watch this with us and learn a little bit more, but also listen. And then we're also going to do some of those types of mindset shifts, those discussions on how to reach and scale the next level of your business, not only with us as the host, but also with guests. So I'm really excited about some of the things that we're going to be talking about. Some of the things that we're also going to be talking about is parenting through business building, because many of us are parents, We will be including some military style topics because my husband's active duty. So if you're a veteran or active duty, building a business, or a military spouse, some of those podcast episodes will be really relevant to you. And we're going to be talking about a lot of health and wellness stuff. My husband and I are big fitness buffs. We both work out consistently. We eat really, well, I don't want to say really healthy. We eat very healthy. We travel a lot. So there's a lot of things that are within our lifestyle that I find it's very important to meld your business with your lifestyle, the life you want to live. Otherwise, your business is just another thing you're doing. It's just will turn into a job. But when you are an entrepreneur and a business owner, you almost have a responsibility to yourself to build your business in a way that fits your lifestyle, the way you want your lifestyle to look like and feel like. And so we're going to be talking about all that kind of stuff. How do we parent through business building? The guilt we have between, our kids saying, oh, you work so much, or I want to go do this over summer break. And you're saying, well, no, I can't do that right now. I've got to do XYZ or help these clients or whatever it is. And kind of working through the parenting side, working through the health and fitness side. How do you maintain a healthy diet? Get in your daily exercise? What kinds of things can you do to help facilitate that? And getting in your actual rest days, because my goodness, as in the beginning of building a business, you're going to feel like you have to be constant, go, 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 go. And if you don't have those rest days, your creativity is going to go in the tank. You're going to get burnt out and you're going to feel like this business is not worth it. So lots of different things we're going to be talking about throughout this podcast. And I'm really, really excited to get into it. Some of our upcoming episodes that we're going to be kind of diving into in the next couple months and weeks are things that really are kind of like the technical side. We're really starting off with, if you are listening to us from the beginning on how to build a business, this is what we're going to be talking about. So next week, or not next week, but the next episode is going to be bringing your idea to execution. You have this idea, you have this wonderful thought about what a business could be, or a product or a service. So what do we do now? How do we take that idea and make the next steps? What kind of things do we need to lay out? What is our list of to-dos or our execution list? And we will have actual resources for you to take, print out and utilize for you to actually do that. And then we're going to go into things like business formation, self-proprietary, LLC, corporation. How do you register your business? What do you need to keep in mind when you're establishing your business in your state or a certain state? What state should you establish your business in? All sorts of things like that. And then we're going to kind of dive into some personal stories to kind of reflect on how you can overcome some of those adversities. I had a huge, what I call my conversion story, which if you follow, Jenna Kutcher on Instagram or her podcast, she has a guest that she has come on quite a bit, and I can't remember his name off the top of my head right now, but he calls it a conversion story. I have a conversion story where I thought I had my dream job, and when I was dropped from that job, what happened? What happened next? And then we're just going to keep going into the technical stuff, branding your businesses, what you need to get started on the digital side of your business. Even if you're a brick and mortar or going to be opening a brick and mortar, you need to have an online presence. What does that look like? How to get started as a product-based business, as a service-based business. What are those differences? What considerations do you need to have? And all sorts of things. So that's just our first couple months of episodes. It really is diving into the nitty-gritty of beginning stages of building a business. This is not like you've made your first 100,000. Now what? We will get there eventually, but this is, you are just getting started. You have this idea. What now? So I really hope you guys stick around. I'm so excited to really dive into this stuff. I'm excited to bring my husband on and have him appear for these things. It's always so fun to sit and talk with him. We have our monthly board meetings, and that's probably some of my favorite times to really sit around and get his feedback on ideas and talk things out. So I'm excited for that. And I hope you guys stick around. I can't wait to help you start, build, grow, and scale your very own business. Again, my name is Lauren Lomsdale. This is the Startup Collective's Build Your Own Business podcast. Talk to you guys soon. Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope we gave you some valuable insight into building and growing your own business. Head over to the Startup Collective to learn more about building your business from the ground up. We teach you how to get started in your business to include designing a high converting website, creating your email marketing, growing your audience and customer base through social media and digital marketing, and even business photography and more. If you're in the scaling phase of your business, join our Grow Your Own Business group coaching. We will give you weekly tasks and accountability in growing your business the right way, and we actually show you how to do it. Visit us at thestartupcollective.co today and follow us on Instagram at The Startup Collective. Dream, start, build, and grow. See you next time.